4:25. Oh, sorry, it is 4:25 on Monday, March 20th. I'd like to call to order the March meeting of the Norwalk Board of Police Commissioners. We have a quorum with Commissioner Lopez and Commissioner Collier Clemens. The first item on the agenda, approval of the minutes of January 23rd, 2023. Do I have a motion?
I have a correction.
Well, do I have a motion so we can discuss that correction?
Yes, so moved.
Okay, Mr. Commissioner Lopez, move the item, and you have a correction.
On the name, on the top, Chief Wolf said Deputy Chief Blake has nominated Supervisor Robinson, missing an N. That's all. That's right. That's all I see.
Which page is that?
Page 1, first paragraph, page 1.
Oh, yeah.
Supervisor Robinson with an N, missing an N.
Okay, that's one correction. Commissioner Collier Clemens?
He got my correction.
Okay. Seeing no further corrections, all in favor of the minutes as corrected?
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. Next item on the agenda is public comment. Do we have anybody wishing to address the Board of Police Commissioners?
We do now.
Okay. So we will close public session. Next item on the agenda is, hold on a minute. Let me get the agenda. Next item on the agenda is the civilian award for dispatcher Stephanie Del Rosario. I see she's with us. Chief?
Yes, Lieutenant Pogorski wrote a memo regarding the outstanding performance of dispatcher Stephanie Del Rosario. Dispatcher Del Rosario provided pre-arrival CPR instructions, and as a result of her early intervention and a life-saving treatment of the Norwalk Police Department, the Norwalk Fire Department, and Norwalk Hospital EMS, the victim survived. It's a great example of the system working. Lieutenant Pogorski's recommendation that dispatcher Del Rosario receives a civilian award for her performance. Please note that dispatcher Del Rosario was also recognized for a CPR save on September 24th, 2022, after providing pre-arrival CPR instructions, which Norwalk Hospital EMS stated was the difference in saving the victim's life. This will be dispatcher Del Rosario's second award since she began her career with us in less than a year ago in April of 2022.
That's very impressive. Good job. You know, that's really difficult to remain calm when you're having somebody on the other line that may be excited, maybe nervous, maybe not listening. Sounds like in both of these cases, you're able to calm the person down and effectively communicate to them what they needed to do. And that's really quite remarkable and very impressive. Commissioner Collier Clemens or Commissioner Lopez?
I totally give you propers for being able to speak in such a way, clearly giving instructions over the phone, because, you know, sometimes people don't hear what you say and they can't do what you say, and that you were able to give them instruction and save a life. Congratulations to you and for your knowing what to do and how to do it. Keep up the good work.
Thank you. Commissioner Lopez?
I do want to congratulate Ms. Del Rosario for phenomenal work done. It reflects the skill set that you have under your belt and you continue to use, not just once, but twice. And hopefully, of course, you will have the opportunity to serve that even again. And so we really recognize, you know, your ability to really show forth how we can help people. And of course, in the saving of life, who wouldn't want that? So thank you very much for your service.
I noticed that Ms. Del Rosario is with us. Would you like to say anything? If you do, you have to unmute yourself.
She might be saving someone's life, man.
Well, I'll take that as a no, but again, congratulations. Well done and well reserved, deserved.
Well reserved, okay.
Well deserved. Okay, the next item is the February Officers of the Month.
Yes, for February 2023 Officers of the Month, It'd be Lieutenant William Lowe, Sergeant Peter White, Officer Brian Barrett, Officer Jaime Acosta, and Officer Andrew Ronzinski. They responded to a very tense situation involving an emotionally disturbed person. Due to their ability, they were able to de-escalate an active and violent situation involving an emotionally disturbed person. On February 16th, 2023, Patrol Division officers were dispatched to a male with mental illness that had assaulted family members and was now inside the residence with a baseball bat and a knife. Arriving officers located the victim and rendered aid. Officers Barrett and Ronzinski approached the home and talked to the highly agitated male inside the home holding the bat and pipe. The male aggressively approached the officers during this time. However, they remained calm and worked to calm the male down. Officers Barrett and Ronzinski were able to build a rapport with the male, while Officer Jaime Acosta, who was a member of our crisis negotiating team, assisted them. The male allowed Officer Barrett and Officer Ronzinski to enter the residence to check for another victim who was unaccounted for. The male went to the basement, however, so officers continued to talk to the male, who eventually agreed to put down the bat and have a conversation. Lieutenant Lowe and Sergeant White then spoke to the male inside the home and listened as he explained what had occurred. The male became distressed again when he was told he would need to be evaluated at the hospital. Lieutenant Lowe and Newark Hospital paramedics were able to calm the male down and get him to agree to go to the hospital. Obviously, it was a team effort by not only the commander of the 3rd Platoon, but a supervisor from the 3rd Platoon and several of our most excellent officers who responded that evening. So it was a great job to de-escalate the situation and use their verbal skills to de-escalate it.
And that shows the professionalism and the extensive training that our police officers receive. All too often, reports from other parts of the country might report a different outcome. You know, here there are officers there, an emotionally disturbed person. They were able to calm him down, reason with him, get him to cooperate. And even though he might have been at one point in a highly agitated state, and the best result is nobody gets hurt or worse, and the individual gets the treatment that he or she might need. So total congratulations to the officers. Commissioners?
I too want to also, of course, commend them for a terrific coordination. The coordination resulted in such a, a favorable outcome that, yes, should be always, of course, upheld. And the ability to de-escalate is something that, we continually hear. So the skill set is there, and congratulations to everyone and Lieutenant Lowe.
Yes, I congratulate all of the officers that were involved, and am just so consistently excited about our de-escalation training classes that all of the officers go through, and they use it, and it's effective. And I really congratulate them for being able to do that and to help the situation and the person.
Well done. Next is an honorable mention for Officer Jonathan Zavitz.
Yes, back on February 22nd, Officer Zavitz responded to a commercial structure fire at 48 Westford Avenue. Upon his arrival, he saw flames from the roof of the strip mall. He began checking the business for occupants and found employees of a Connecticut breeder trying to evacuate all their canine puppies. With the business filling with smoke, Officer Zavitz assisted employees by placing the puppies into large garbage cans and carrying them outside to safety, while ensuring all the employees who left the business as well. Officer Zavitz was not selected as Officer of the Month, but his actions were meritorious and deserve recognition.
Takes a lot of courage to run into a building that's on fire. That's why we become police officers sometimes and not firefighters. But yes, that is certainly he took the time to assist and get those puppies out of there so that there was no loss of life of the puppies or of any individual. And he also had enough sense to go back and check to make sure there's nobody else left in the building. So congratulations, commissioners.
I too agree. It was quick thinking, and you can see that training resulted in his ability to bring things together expeditiously so that there was no, no one affected by the fire. So that was wonderful. That was great.
I'd like to give congratulations to Officer Zevitz. This is just an indication and an example of how our officers, they do meritorious things in the line of their duty every day. And it's so much so that it's hard to determine who's the officer of the month and who gets the, follow-up and meritorious mention. But we're proud that they are able to put all of their training in action, because it takes a pretty determined and motivated officer to run into a burning building, and you're not a fireman.
Exactly. Well said. Congratulations. Now we go on to the operations report.
Good afternoon, Mayor and Commissioners. February 2023, we finished the month with 181 sworn personnel. At that time, there was no patrol vacancies at the end of February. 139 sick days were used. 87 and a half workman's comp days were used. We still have 3 officers on long-term workers' compensation. Our detective bureau opened 46 cases. They made a 3rd arrest in the January 6th shooting investigation. That individual was charged with criminal attempted assault first, reckless endangerment first, unlawful discharge of firearm and conspiracy. They also arrested a suspect on 3 counts of failure to register as a sex offender. Special Services opened 44 cases in February. They executed a search warrant at 261 Ely Avenue and arrested a suspect there on numerous sale of narcotics charges. They also made an arrest on an individual who had 7 arrest warrants, to include sale of multiple firearms and narcotics. Our Special Victims Unit opened 51 cases in February. The investigation into a teacher choking a student at Brookside Elementary School that has subsequently led to an arrest. And they have ongoing DARE instruction. There's a minor typo at the top of the Special Victims, it says January, I should say February. Our BHU had 64 cases opened in February. 62 of the 64 have been addressed, and 42 of those cases have been successfully closed. Again, as you note, the BHU continues to increase their numbers of both referrals by our officers and people calling in for assistance. The traffic unit wrote 28 citations, 40 written warnings, 7 verbal warnings, and made 4 arrests. They conducted motor vehicle enforcement throughout the city, including selective enforcement at Norton Place for drag racing, as well as assisting with the Norwalk Fire Department funeral escort.
Is that activity over at Norton Place? Have we been getting any more reports on that?
And no, Mayor, it has quieted down. We've had some significant presence up there on all the different shifts, and thus far the complaints have ceased.
Good.
Again, we're continuing to work with management up there to try and make the place not very welcoming. Community police held coffee with a cop at Hometown Deli, and they met with the Shorefront Park Association regarding crime prevention. Patrol division calls were 5,159. There's a minor typo there. Total criminal arrests were 123, and you see our calls by shift at the bottom. In regards to our SE report, we were at 240 citations for February, which is a jump of 100 stops or 100 citations issued since the month of January, and certainly an increase from last year as well. So our motor vehicle enforcement proactivity in our patrol division is up substantially.
Thank you for adjusting the graph.
Yes, we corrected that immediately.
I really appreciate it.
Okay, any questions from the commission?
I don't have any questions.
I don't either.
Great to see you up to full staff if it's only for a little while, but hopefully we'll keep it there. So it's a big turnover in the police department. I think we probably hired 25 or more since last January 1st,
I think we're up to 35,
up to 35.
35 since last
Wow.
year.
Yeah.
We've hired 35 since last year.
Since last January of 2022, that time, there's 35. Yes, and
And
We just
and
had s-
how are they performing?
just had 7 officers finish field training. So they hit the road solo in the past week. We still have 5 in training. We've been monitoring. We actually have a designated supervisor on each shift that monitors for field training responsibilities and their progress, to make sure that their reports are up to snuff and their investigation and everything else. We have delayed the two of the candidates to give them a little bit more training. So we have another 5 probably hitting the road solo within the next 3 to 4 weeks. So that'd be 12 additional officers supplementing our current manpower. And we will be making some transfers next week back into some specialized divisions. Our traffic unit, our training division needs another officer. They're very busy with all the recruitment. And we're adding an SRO on the 30th, a school resource officer. So, and then we're going to reevaluate May 1st for possible more assignments to see how the manpower is.
Boy, y'all are really busy and that's good. That's
Yeah.
good because it's going to be a hot summer.
Looks like we've replaced 19% of the department. That's no wonder I don't recognize anybody anymore. I do recognize you two. Okay, I think now we're on to the training report. I know, Chief, you'll probably be
Yes.
doing double duty.
Yes. Yes, for the month of February, we had DUI review credit training. We had 15 officers attend DUI review credit. We're still in the review credit cycle. NCIC recertification online for Officer Russo and Officer De Leon, who's one of our comparatives. We're still completing the OSHA fire extinguisher training. Sent all those training notices to OSHA, and they were pleased with that result. CIT, Corey Alton, crisis intervention technique. We sent 4 officers to that school. It's a de-escalation. It's a communication school. Sent 4 officers to that. It was in Fairfield. We're also working with the OSHA on a hazardous communication plan, which was identified back in the fall when they did their inspection. We sent 2 of our use of force instructors to force on force decision training at the Connecticut Police Academy so they can train the trainer model, bring that back to the police department. We sent one of our ESU supervisors to Emergency Services SWAT Supervision and Management School as a team leader. Ethics review credit training. Lieutenant Cunningham, who's our commander of our training division, attended that. More DUI review credit. Communications school online training. 3 officers. Our scuba team did their winter training. Flex system, DUI review credit. We recently purchased, which was a capital project that we have planned, the new Faro scanner, which is a 3-dimensional scanner for crime scenes. It's state of the art. We can do accident reconstruction and crime scene. So we sent 2 of our accident investigators, 2 of our detectives, and Lieutenant Weisgerber and Sergeant Tomei, who work our crime scene unit. It's a state of the art scanner that takes pictures, and we can recreate a crime scene without doing it the old fashioned way of sketching it. It's a 3D image. Use of force review credit training. The instructors, we sent several officers to that review credit, and we're still ongoing with our ICAT training. Currently, some of the methods that were used with the Officer of the Month scenario into integrating communications and tactics. It's another tool in their toolbox for de-escalation and verbal skills.
Okay, any questions from the commission?
I have none.
No questions.
Okay, a lot of training, which every time we have a meeting, we see somebody do something remarkable and it shows that the training pays off.
Yes, it does.
I was-
Absolutely.
I would venture to say that our department is one of the most highly trained departments to be found anywhere, really. So next item is the sick time attendance. I don't see Commissioner Lopez's name on here.
Oh, yes. Yeah, he was accidentally left off.
Okay,
It's Lynn's
well,
note.
we'll send him a copy. Well, he's got a copy.
You got a copy.
He was
I
sick.
I was sick.
That was a good one, Commissioner. That
I
was
on
fast.
time with that one.
That was fast. So we
Yeah,
have
for,
four.
this year, be Officer David Geismer, 2022, Dispatcher Michael Neely, 2021 to 2022, and Civilian Lynn Sullivan, 2011 to 2022, no sick time.
Wow.
Wow.
We
Congratulations.
need to send her a special letter of recognition or something.
Absolutely.
If you could make that happen, Chief and Deputy Chief, let us know what you want to do and we'll make sure we do it.
Will do.
And Chief, thank you for 2020 to 2022. Very good.
Thank you. You're welcome.
Congratulations.
Next item, course approval, Deputy Chief Blake.
Yes, Deputy Chief Blake is pursuing a bachelor's in criminal justice from Sacred Heart University. He's asking for application for course approval, philosophy, Catholic intellectual tradition, 201, 202, scientific literacy.
I
Okay,
move.
Commissioner Collier Clemens moves. Any further questions? Deputy Chief Blake, you want to say anything?
Don't appreciate the support.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Good luck.
You got to make your daughter proud of you.
That's it.
And now we have complimentary letters.
Yes, Paul Kaminsky he's the manager of safety and security at Norwalk Hospital, wrote a letter for Lieutenant Marker and Sergeant Calise, members of our emergency services team. Wanted to express his gratitude for his support of Norwalk Hospital during today's, they did a Department of Homeland Security on-site security assessment. They spent some time up there working with Homeland Security and Norwalk Hospital Administration in doing an assessment for security.
Very good. I see the next one's rather interesting.
Yes, this one's for Owen Lee, Sergeant Fern, and Officer James Casimus. He had an individual who suffered a cardiac event. He dialed 911. He had fallen down in a boatyard, and the officers swiftly responded, and they were able to apply oxygen and other first aid measures and keep him secure. While Norwalk Fire Department and Norwalk Hospital paramedics arrived on scene and took over care. And I spoke to him last week. He has fully recovered. He did have a heart attack, and he was into surgery. And some of the efforts by the officers eased his pain and gave him oxygen and stuff like that. Other first aid was given to him, and he's doing fine.
And the commissioners may not know this, but he's a former Norwalk police officer,
Wow.
What?
Officer Gary Wetmore.
Really? Wow. Saved by one of his own.
Yep.
It's amazing.
Yeah, it is.
Congratulations to the officers. Next,
Yes, ACO Fellner on February 25th, he orchestrated an intense rescue of a cat that had been missing for several days. And then they realized that it was stuck on a perch of a third floor roof. Sergeant Orr and Officer Samantha Bartles also helped with the kitten rescue, and so did members of our Norwalk Fire Department. And you can see there's pictures enclosed. You see it gotten up there and it was trapped in a perch near the roof line, and it was unable to come down. And he was able to orchestrate this rescue using FD and patrolmen, and the owner of the cat was very appreciative of his efforts.
I think to look up there and see the cat was amazing.
Yes, it was stuck in that perch there. Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, again, congratulations, and good to see all these letters coming in, especially when somebody takes the time to write. You know, it really shows that they appreciate what the officers that have done. Commissioners?
Absolutely.
Mhm.
Yes, I'm just amazed, and I'm also encouraged because one of these officers is one of our newer officers, Sam Bartles.
Yes,
And so, they're coming right in and using their expertise and the training they're getting, and they just walk right in the gap. And
For sure. I
Wonderful.
see on the Board of Police Commissioners, I'm sorry, Commissioner Lopez.
No, I was just gonna, of course, it's amazing to see, citizens write at length, because they feel so appreciative of what the officers are doing. They put themselves at risk and injury, just to get the things that need to get done, and with no questions asked. And it's just amazing that, she was so appreciative.
Thank you. I see under next meeting for the Traffic Authority, it says Monday, April 17th. For the Police Commission, it says Monday, April 24th. I don't know which one is which.
Where do you see that?
Well, on the Board of Police Commissioners at the bottom of the
Oh,
agenda.
okay.
And then for the Traffic Authority at the bottom, it says next meeting Monday, April 17th. So it's two
Okay.
different dates.
Mayor, in the memo from Ms. Dixon, City Clerk, April 17th is the date. I
Okay.
have the memo here from the beginning, April 17th.
Okay. So the next meeting of the Norwalk Board of Police Commissioners will be April 17th at 4:15. I see no more items to come before the commission. Motion to adjourn.
I move to adjourn.
All in favor?
Hi,
Aye.
All right, we're adjourned at 4:52. Thank you all.
thank you.
Sure.
Enjoy,
Thank you.
enjoy the rest of the week.
Have a good day.
So
You'll do the same.